When Tom Brady left, it looked like the Patriots were going to finally go through some sort of a rebuild for the first time in decades.
Haha, not so fast.
1 year later, New England appears to be the best team in the AFC, and a lot of that comes at the hands of rookie quarterback Mac Jones. Nobody is going to try to convince you that he's the next Brady. But again, Bill Belichick has found another talented player and used him in the perfect way. The 2021 Patriots look like a team that limits mistakes, relies on their defense, and honestly has a chance to compete for a Super Bowl. But more than anything, they look exactly like the 2001 Patriots. But first, if you want more videos like this, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a daily upload. When Tom Brady was thrusted into the starting role in 01 as a second-year, sixth-round pick, the Patriots looked like they were left for dead. New England had a good team, but were now without star quarterback Drew Bledsoe. But that didn't matter. Brady stepped in and put together one of the most shocking seasons for a young passer, finishing 11-3 in his game started and ultimately leading the Patriots to a Super Bowl victory. Brady has turned into the greatest player in the league's history, but his 01 season wasn't really that great statistically. So how did a guy who only threw 18 touchdowns to 12 interceptions lead his team to a championship? Well, it's the same way Mac Jones has led his team to one of the best records in the NFL as a rookie. Good coaching and doing what the offensive scheme asks of you. Both quarterbacks played within the parameters of a system that was set in place for them to succeed. Early in their careers, they were never going to be the reason why you won the game, but they were also not going to be the reason that you lost it. Much like Brady did in 01, Jones has contributed to the Patriots' success by executing what he's been asked, while also relying on a stout defense and good run game to carry most of the load. In 2021, the Patriots are doing the exact same thing they did 2 decades ago with Brady, not relying on their quarterback to win them games. If you watch the Ravens or Chiefs, those guys are directly relying on Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes to win them games. But that's not what Bill Belichick wants to do. Belichick is a very methodical coach and wants to rely on a group team effort that's focused around capitalizing on the opposing team's weaknesses or mistakes. He doesn't want Mac Jones slinging the ball like he's Brett Favre. Jones has turned into a consistent passer in New England, but he isn't necessarily going to blow your socks off. He's not going to regularly have an explosive play or crazy deep pass. But let's not get it twisted, because he can definitely do those things when asked. Jones proved that at Alabama, and as the Patriots have opened things up for him in the offense, he's been able to push the ball downfield more often and successfully. But at the end of the day, Belichick just wants to establish the ball, move the ball downfield, and utilize a dink and dunk type passing scheme where Jones can get the ball out fast to an open receiver, much like Brady did years ago. The Patriots love to go against the grain, and in a pass-centric league, they're taking the yards given to them and focusing on making good decisions. You've always heard Brady called a system quarterback, and honestly, I'm willing to bet that Mac Jones will probably also get that title if the Patriots have success. But not everyone can run a system flawlessly. Brady no doubt got better with the system as time went on, and Mac Jones took some time to adjust and get his bearings once he came into the league. But all that really matters is that the two have completely embraced it. There are really 3 main systems in the NFL: West Coast, Air Coryell, and Erhard Perkins, which is what the Patriots have been using since Belichick and offensive coordinator Charlie Weiss put it into place in 2000. What makes the system so interesting is it's one that can be tailored to be more pass or run heavy depending on what a team wants to do. Ron Erhardt and Ray Perkins were both Patriots assistants back in the 1970s when the system was introduced, but it disappeared from New England until Belichick and Weiss had their own take on it. The system isn't what it once was. The Patriots love to incorporate running backs into the passing game. Take a guy like James White, for example. That's definitely not what you'd have seen in the early system, but the game is adapting and Belichick has adapted with it. The system is based around using the run to set up passing plays, establish the run, and then use play action to catch the defense off guard and stretch the field. In the passing game, it's usually going to push receivers out wide and spread the field as much as possible. That's why the Patriots have thrown out 5 receivers with an empty backfield pretty often this season. They did that to absolute perfection in 2007 when Wes Welker and Randy Moss were leading the way in their 18-1 season. Of course, we all know that Bill Belichick is smarter than, well, everybody, and I'm even willing to bet that his dog Nike can break down complex defensive schemes better than like half the defensive coordinators in the league. But what's really made Bill Belichick special is his ability to adapt to new circumstances over time. The Patriots started running a more upbeat tempo with more no huddle around 2011 that was really based around finding new ways to tire out the defense fast and stop them from being able to change their personnel on the field. Belichick's new verbiage in the system was one word. One word told all the players in certain position groups everything they needed to know, from formation to blocking scheme, direction on run plays, routes for the receivers on passing plays, shifts in formations, snap count, and possible alerts or alterations, all in one word. I think it's safe to say, and we can all agree, that the system run in New England is not an easy one. Cam Newton talked about his struggles learning it, specifically having to identify the Mike linebacker or identify certain fronts. Usually today, the protection is the center's responsibility, but New England does it differently. As a matter of fact, Belichick does a lot of things differently than everyone else, which is why Jones is such a good fit. He already had to spend time with Nick Saban, who quite literally is the Bill Belichick of college football. A lot of their ideologies overlapped when they coached in Cleveland together. Alabama's system looked a lot like the Patriots in some ways, but what New England, and more specifically Josh McDaniels, did so well was change it to fit Jones. Saban had a very pro-style system with the Crimson Tide, but his coordinators slowly changed the system to be more air raid-like over time, and Steve Sarkisian alone made some big changes with Jones. Jones ran 19% of his passes off run-pass option, and in those, completed almost 94% of his passes for 10 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. During Brady's last season in New England, he ran just 4 RPOs, but in 2020 under Newton, the number jumped to 70. The biggest difference for Jones was definitely moving under center. He only lined up under center 11 times in his collegiate career, and we all know that's where Brady loved to be. But here's what's really important about New England. Bill Belichick doesn't bring in a quarterback who can fit his system. He creates a system that fits his quarterback. The system fit Brady perfectly. It got changed to be more mobile with Newton, and it already has changed to be more RPO based under Jones. The Patriots just need Jones to make good decisions and be reliable, and his completion percentage over 70% backs up that he can do it. Brady never had a completion percentage over 69.
Nice.
That's honestly a lot more of a testament as to how conservative the Patriots have asked Jones to play. But even when Brady was told to play conservative and protect the ball, he wasn't as good as Jones has been. Jones is an accurate passer and does enough for the pieces around him to win games. It's no secret that Brady played opposite of some elite defenses, and so far, the same thing rings true for Jones. The Patriots have one of, if not the best defenses in the entire league, and it's one of the biggest reasons for their success, second to Jones. Mac Jones is the perfect quarterback for the New England Patriots. I mean, he's quite literally the perfect mold for a Belichick-run system. He's done everything that's been asked of him since he stepped foot in New England. And if it weren't for him, the Patriots wouldn't be on this 6-game heater and the number 2 seed in the AFC. Things are just starting to heat up for Jones. And he's still only a rookie. Hey, thank you for sticking to the end of the video and watching all the way through. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a daily upload. Also, if you want more content from J&D, go ahead and follow us on our social medias like TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, where we're going to be posting NFL content all season long. Again, thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.